Did you get
Yes, Rav.
the
That was
topic?
Yes.
What's the time?
Part 2.
Tonight is part 2.
how to handle difficult times in our life. Part 2.
Yep,
That's what I said.
very good. Very well said.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay. So, we all have difficult times. And sometimes we get lost, we don't know even what to do. And we feel helpless. And part of it, if not most of it, we forgot whom we're dealing with. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a plan. Hashem has a plan. And we don't know the plan. So last time we spoke about whatever Hashem is doing, we know it's for the good. If we don't register this, no matter what you're going to do, every obstacle will break you. Right away, you start to think it's punishment, it's the all kind of things that bechlal not shayach. And the best example that we can give from the Torah is from the brothers of Yosef. They were busy to get rid of him. Yosef, who was busy as the Midrash says, Besako betanito, he said, I don't understand this. Reuven, the same thing, he says, why did I left them? Why I didn't do anything in order to save him? Yaakov was on the floor, also he cannot accept what happened to him. And Yehuda was busy to find a wife for himself. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what was on his mind? What was Hashem's plan?
To make Yosef become a king?
No, you'll be surprised. And the Midrash is saying, והקדוש ברוך הוא היה עוסק ובורא אורו של משיח. אז they say, okay, now we have to start with the Mashiach. Who is it? Yehuda will have relation with his daughter-in-law, and from there, right, the Mashiach will continue. From where to where? From where? That was the plan. The plan was that Judah will fail, and Hashem took his wife and his two boys Meantime, Yosef is in Egypt and he doesn't know what's going on. His father don't know what's going on. Reuven don't know what's going on. Only Hashem knew. What? Judah will go, will get to a place, and he will have relations with his own daughter-in-law, and from there, the Mashiach will continue. Who, in his wildest dream, will think about something like that? Nobody. Nobody. And Moshe Rabbeinu came to Hashem and he said, can you tell me your plans? Hashem says, even you know. You'll understand my plan. After it will pass, you'll go back and you turn back and say, oh, now I understand. But to see what I'm planning, nobody knows, only me. I'm sure that few of us here can look back and we didn't know in one part of our life what Hashem is planning for us. Yes? We were in the dark, for sure. Don't know where to turn, for sure. Why? For sure. Yes, everybody had it. Now, I would say, good few years later, we're looking back and say, oh, now we understand the plan. Now we understand. How did it wind up here? How did it happen? Oh, and I will be starting to laugh. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. So today I'll tell you some stories in order to bring it out, to see how far it can go.
But Rob, does
And-
that mean, I'm sorry,
Huh?
does that mean that it doesn't matter what choice we make, it's still Hashem will make it right?
Yeah. The choice is part of the plan.
Okay, so we have headaches.
When Yudah chose to sleep with the daughter-in-law, it was a part of the plan.
His plan, no,
Oh,
Rav.
okay.
He thought that she is, she is working. But Hashem says, okay, I'll fool you.
So sometimes we break our head over a choice that we need to make. It's all for in vain.
It's all part of the show.
Okay.
So, Rabbi, we ultimately don't have a choice, if you think about it. So
We
we
always
don't
have-
have free choice.
You have a choice.
If Hashem already knows about what we're going to choose and what the plan is, then it's not really a choice, no?
No. Meaning from the choice that you make, okay, Hashem will lead the show through the choice that you made.
Okay, I hear you.
You hear me? Good. As long as you hear, it's fine. Now, in World War II, by the Holocaust time, the Jews came there and they had no choice but to throw away all the belonging. Why they left it outside of the fence before they entered? They had a hope that one day they're going to be able to run away and the stuff will still be there. Okay. But the Nazis, once a German, always a German. they ordered the Polacks to collect everything and to take it. One day, two women, non-Jews, Polacks, they saw a new shipment arrived to Auschwitz. And there was a lady with a coat, a big one, a nice one, expensive one. And the Polacks, they decided, we're not gonna wait for the lady to lift us. We're gonna throw her on the floor and take the coat by force. And that's what they did. And they found many, many things in the big packets of the coat. But after they empty all the packet, they see that the coat is still heavy. And they continue to search and they found a hidden packet. When they open it up, they found something they never had in mind. They found a small baby hidden inside the coat, the baby of the lady. She was 2 months old. So one of the Polacks saying to the other one, I'm going to take the baby and I will raise her. Because I don't have kids, now I have a kid. And she took this baby and she raised her. Years passed. This baby that grew up as a Goya, and she don't know she is a Jew, she became a doctor, a pediatrician she became, pediatrician. Years later, the so-called Ima, the Goya, died. And all of a sudden, she gets a telephone call unanimously. And she talking to the doctor and she told her, I have to tell you a secret. After your so-called Ima passed away, I have news for you. This is not your mother. You are an adopted child by force. You are a Jew. And she told her the whole story, the whole 9 yards. The doctor was in shock. All of a sudden, her life turned upside down. Who are my parents? Who is my mother? Who is my father? Who are they? How did I wind up by this, by the Goya? Now she understood why the family that she grew up with hated the Jews, but she was not. She says, I always felt closer to Judaism. I hated when they spoke against the Jews. But Chick-Chack, she came back to herself and said, do you have a proof of what you're saying? How will I know that I am a Jew? So the lady told her, when we found you, you had on you a necklace. with all kind of strange design. Maybe it's something that it's in Hebrew. I don't know if you want it, but I advise you to search in your house. Maybe you're gonna find this necklace. Because that's how we found you. You were 2 months old and you had this necklace on your neck. And if you find it, this will be a proof that you a Jew. As long as she hung up the phone, the same moment she started to search, like she didn't waste even a second. And right away she went to the jewelry box of the so-called Ima. And bingo, she found the necklace. But she didn't understand what's written there because it was, to her, it was very strange. Then she said, I need a vacation. I have to digest all this. Let me go to Europe. In Europe, she's seeing two people look Jewish. And she turned to them and she told them the story. She said, that's what happened to me. Maybe you can help. And she showed them the necklace. She said, what's written over here? They told her the name that it's written on the necklace. And they told her, we are Lubavitchers. We Chabad. Maybe you'll write to the Rabbi. We're gonna send the letter and let's see what he's gonna write back to you. After a week, the letter came back with an answer from the Rabbi that buried over here in Queens. He said, you have nothing to worry about. You are a full Jew. He told her, you're a full Jew. And instead of taking care of non-Jews, Polish people, make Aliyah to Eretz Israel. And over there, you take care of Jewish boys, Jewish kids. Right away, she packed her stuff up and she made Aliyah to Eretz Israel. And where everybody likes to be, Jerusalem. That's the place. They send her to Ulpan. You know what Ulpan is? Huh?
Learning Hebrew. Learning Hebrew.
Learning Hebrew, Ulpan. In Aramaic, it's called Ulpana. Ulpana meaning school.
Rabbi,
So-
in America, they call it Nayana.
Nayana. Okay, she got closer to religion and she got married to a Jewish boy, a religious one, the doctor. And she got accepted in the hospital Sha'ar Tzedek Birushalayim. Now she is a doctor, she is official, she is fine, she is a full Jew. The chuppah, the kiddushin, everything was fine, very good. One day she going with the new husband in Jerusalem. all of a sudden she hears from Rehov Ben Yehuda, there is a street called Ben Yehuda. She hears boom, but a boom. It was a restaurant called Sabaro. Sabaro, the screaming and the shouting, and organ flew all over the place. The wounded one and the family were, the doctor and the husband they were running toward the restaurant to see what they can do, what they can save. She told the husband, "You're not accustomed to all this. You go home. I'm going to the hospital. I have a job to do. I'm a doctor. You go home." She said, "I'm going with the ambulance to take care of the wounded." She got to the ambulance with the ambulance to the hospital Sha'arei Tzedek, and she took care of them. Not even a rest a second. Who had time? All of a sudden, a Jew came, hardly speaking Hebrew. He speaks Polish. He said, "I'm looking for my grandchild. Where is she?" So she was not in the ambulance. Somebody brought his granddaughter with his private car because he didn't want to waste any time. He put her in the back seat and oppa to the hospital. And they're asking him, what is the girl's name? They don't understand even what he's saying. He was so overwhelmed. So the doctor sees that too many people around him. She gave him a glass of water. She sat him down. And she was trying to relax him. And when he came down a little bit, she asking him, how does she look? What's her name? After he gave all the details, he said she have a necklace. My grandchild have a necklace with her name on the neck. She said, okay, let's look for her. And in the emergency room, they found her. He said, here she is. And her situation was, more or less okay. But she was under a trauma. She was in a shock for what happened. And the doctor came to the sweet girl, and she started to do to her, like that. She told him everything is okay. She said to the old man, everything is okay. All of a sudden, her face shut down. She became pale, the doctor. Now she cannot control herself. She saw the necklace on the neck of the child. And she's asking the old man, excuse me, sir, where does she have this necklace? He said, What do you mean from where? I'm a jeweler. And I made this one. So she asked him, do you know where I can get more than that? She has one, maybe you have more. Where can I buy it? He said to her, there is nothing like this in the whole wide world. There is only two of them. I had two girls, he said. He said one of them is the mother of the girl that's laying down here. And the second one, he says, it's my second daughter that was killed in the Holocaust with her mother in Auschwitz. The old man didn't even finish the sentence, and the doctor was on the floor, unconscious. She fainted. All the doctors came there to revive her, of course. And when she got up, she's looking at the old man. And she revealed the chain that she has on her neck. And she said, Abba, here I am. The daughter that you lost, here I am. Now he fainted. You can imagine what went on there? Could you imagine? So many people were crying from the happiness that the father finally, after so many years, where will he find the daughter? In the hospital? She is a doctor. In the wildest dream that he will dream, he will never come to the picture that he sees in front of his eyes. And the necklace is here, and one necklace is there, everything is there. So in one side, you see people crying because they lost their relatives. And from the other hand, you see people crying, they gained children that they lost for who knows how many years. Who had the koach to see all this in the first place?
Only
When the Polak, the lady took this girl 2 months old, if somebody in the world Bechlal had in his mind what's going to be the end over here,
Should be lost.
who can see the picture? Who?
Only Hashem.
Only Hashem knows. So you go along with this because you never know what's going to happen. There is a plan. You're part of the show, right? And when the show will come to an end, all of a sudden you see, oh, now I understand. When you have a shidduch, you get married. Somebody can see what's going to be the end over here.
No.
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 No way. when you're expecting a child, do you know what child he will be?
No. We have hopes and dreams, but we don't know the end result.
Okay. Hopes we have, dreams we have, everything we have. But is this the reality?
No.
It's not the reality. So we have to understand that we don't understand.
Rabbi, can we say that it's a big miracle that Hashem made it? The fact that a lost child that was lost in their family finally got found.
For Hashem is not a miracle. For Hashem,
No,
that
for
was the
us.
plan.
For us.
For us,
We consider
you can say
Hashem-
whatever you want.
Hashem sent the anonymous person to call the doctor.
Yeah,
That's how it all came to be.
yeah.
More miracle, I think so, was also that she kept it, the Goya, the necklace with her name.
Yeah. So, example. The people who lived in Russia 70 years ago, or a little bit more than that, when the communism just, they took Russia from the hands of the Tsar. And they were, somebody בכלל were thinking that in one night everything will finish. It took one night exactly, and USSR is not USSR anymore. 70, maybe 80 years, Hashem fooled the whole world. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming. Who gave it a chance, בכלל? Who gave it a chance? And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu saying to Hashem, I want to know your plan. You know, this is... Hashem says, no. I'm not. You're going to trust me with whatever I do. Because you don't know what's going to be the end. Only I know. So you have to trust me with closed eyes. That whatever I do is the letova.
Rav,
Yes,
do we also get zchuyot for that? When we trust in Hashem with
of course. That's what Hashem wants.
just to be guided?
Don't ask, no questions.
Yeah, that's a big nisayon. That's a big test.
Yep. Now, let's go to our time. Why should we go back? You know, every year there is Aguda convention, yes?
Yes, Rav.
Aguda convention. You know, the one who was the head of the Aguda, meaning organizing everything, and his name was Rav Moshe Sherer. Alav Shalom. This person, he never took no for answer. He didn't know what no means. If he had a goal, no matter what, he will turn the whole world upside down. And he was very successful. Amazing person. So once they were asking him, where did you get such a koach? Where did you get such a koach? So listen to what he said. He said, this is the koach of my mother. Your mother? What you have to do with all this? I'll tell you. He said, I was 3 years old. I was very sick. Not corona, all this garbage. He was really sick. And then in their time, the doctor used to come home. Yes? So the doctor came home to check the child. He looking at the child and he's saying, oh, wow, I'm gonna write you prescription. It's very expensive. You cannot find it in any drugstore. You have to go to special drugstore. He said, I know only 1 or 2 who maybe have it. Now, she lives in one end of the city in Manhattan. Now she have to go to the other side in order to get to the pharmacy. Now, how much you think was the medicine? He says the medicine that he prescribed was $30. He said this was my mother's salary maybe for 6 months. And they don't have this money. But she have no choice. She have to save me. She have to get the medicine. So she is going by foot to the pharmacy. She get there and she's showing the prescription to the pharmacist. He look at her and says, you know, this is a very expensive one. We do have it. And I have to do it in the back. I have to prepare that. It will cost you $30. She said, you know, maybe you can have mercy on me and my child. I don't have this money. He said, give her it. I have a family also. It's not $1, $2. We're talking $30. In their time, it was, ooh, ah. We're talking about the time of the Depression, when people in America, they have nothing to eat. Hello, hello. Anyway, she didn't know what to do. She said, maybe I can work here. And that's how I'm gonna pay for it. Luckily enough, they had a cleaning lady that they just let go. He said, yes, we're looking for somebody. She said, I'm ready to work for 1 year. 1 year, just give me the medicine. He says, okay, you have to sign a contract and like I'm paying you in advance. Good. She signed a contract that she's gonna come every day and she's gonna clean the pharmacy for 1 year. He went inside, prepared the medicine, he gave it to her, and now she is running home. Now she wants to shorten the way, and she's going through a neighborhood which she's not supposed to. Not a safe one, but she said, I have to save time. It was a winter day, freezing day. She's walking with the bag in her hand. She almost passing the neighborhood. Last moment, a big black guy stopping her and says, hey, what do you have in your hand? Show me your purse also. She gave him the purse. He was looking, not even a penny then. He got so mad. He said, what do you have in the bag? She said, it's my child medicine. He said, I don't believe you. He pushed her to the side. He took the bag. He pulled out the bottle. And he opened the cap. He thought this is a drink. He tasted it, phew, and he spit it on her clothing. And when he saw that this is Bemet, a medicine, he was so upset. He took it and he broke it on the street. Tach! What you gonna do now?
Baruch Hashem.
What you gonna do? She decided, I'm going back. She's going back to the pharmacy. The one that she spoke to went home. The partner came in. He looked at her and said, yes, how can I help you? She said, I was here and your partner gave me a medicine. And that's what happened. The kush, he took it. He broke it and said, this is not my problem. You have to pay again. She said, but I don't have the money. I signed that I'll work over here for 1 year. Have mercy on me. He said, maximum that I can do, you sign for 2 years. 2 years? She said, okay, just give me the medicine. After she signed, he said, what's this on your dress? She said, this is what he was spitting out of his mouth. He says, come closer, please. He looked at the prescription that he had
Poison.
in the pharmacy, and he smells this one. He says, let me take a sample. If you don't mind, if you can take it away, I don't want to touch you. Can you scrap it and give it to me? She did it. He went inside and he came outside, pale, He said to her, listen to me. Please don't tell nobody what I'm going to tell you now. The medicine that what my partner gave you, if your child would have taken it, it will die on the spot. He gave you the wrong one. I smelled it. I took it inside. I checked it out. It was the wrong one. That's not what. As a courtesy, you don't have to work here for 2 years. Because you can sue us, you can take our license away. So I'm releasing you from the 2 years. Take the medicine and go home. Now, what happened when the Kushi broke the battle?
That's called Minashma. It was the purpose for the child not to have the medicine.
How she felt.
Devastated. She
Devastated,
felt
upset.
it's over. It's over. Like there's nothing else.
That's it.
The courage she had to get up, Rav, to go back. That's
It was a plan of Hashem. Hashem didn't want this child to die. He said, you're going back. She had no choice. She had to go back because her son's life is on the line. She went back to find out that the Kushi was a messenger to save her. Sometimes Hashem sent the Kushi to save you. We have to understand this. Sometimes Hashem sends you a difficult child in order to send you from death. You have a gezerah on you, chas v'shalom, to die young. And who knows who is praying up there for you, and Hashem says, okay, and you know what? Let's change the decree. I will send her a difficult child. Let her deal with the child to bring him up to par, and then we'll take off the decree that I had to take her away. Do we know that?
no, we don't know the plan.
Yes, I know that.
There is a say in the Torah. Who carries whom? The stomach carrying the legs, or the legs carrying the stomach?
The legs carrying the stomach.
They both.
The stomach carries the leg.
The stomach carries the legs.
Very good. To us, what it shows,
The legs.
if not the legs, the stomach will not move. It's the opposite. If the stomach will not be full, your legs will not move. So who carries whom?
The stomach carries the legs.
Sometimes your child carrying you. You think you're doing a favor to the child? Huh?
Yeah.
You are alive because of him. So this small creature in your hand will carry you. And that will take all the oof and the shmoof and the poof. But we don't know Hashem's plan. So we think that we carrying the child, but actually the child carrying us.
Maybe that difficult child carrying us?
Yes, for sure. For sure.
It's a very deep thought, very deep. Beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Perspective.
Slowly, slowly beginning to understand.
Wow.
Ay, ay, ay.
So Rob, when they're giving us a hard time and you want to just take their kishkas out, you just think of this thought that because of them we're alive.
It's better than to being in the cemetery. That's for
100%.
that's for sure,
100%.
right? Okay, so-
Wow, it's beautiful.
Without, can I ask a question about that?
yeah, yeah.
So if, let's say, we're supposed to have a hardship, and instead of experiencing it as a hardship, like you have bitachon and this and that, so it's not so difficult, is that still count? Or are we going to keep on getting different hardships?
Everything counts.
So is it I'm asking, like, is it the pain that we're experiencing, or is it the fact, or is it just like that challenge that we just passed? Does the Rev understand the question?
No.
Okay, so let's say the person's supposed to have this much pain, let's say, right? And the person does not experience that pain because he has more trust, right, in Hashem? And so will this pain come in different ways? Or just the fact that the person had trust, he's already succeeded with that?
You have to explain yourself.
Okay, so I'm sorry about that. If, let's say, a person's supposed to have, like in terms of percent, like 100% of pain, let's say, and the person does not experience it as 100%, maybe like 50, because he has more bitachon, right?
Okay?
So will that 50% come in a different form as well? Or is it just that 100% that you already passed?
It's 100%.
So just the first time that you did it, and you kind of passed it, right? Because of, okay.
I'll tell you something that I saw. Very nice, extremely nice. The Kloisenberg Admor it's a person that lost a wife and 12 children in the Holocaust. Could you imagine? A wife and 12 kids, not one, not two, 12. So in Rosh Hashanah, the first one after the war was over and the Germans, were defeated, so now the Admor, Erev Rosh Hashanah, when they're opening the Ark, before the Ashkenazim saying their sliches, and he started to cry. And everybody looking at the man beaten up, standing there, and he's crying. The Ashkenazim, when they say Avinu Malkeinu, they're opening up the ark. Yes, we know. You, yes, the Ashkenazi. And he's saying, Ribono shel olam, soon we're going to say Ashamnu. Are we guilty? For what? We march with everybody that called the march to death. What are we guilty about? Why do we have to say now Hashamnu? Where is Hashamnu? If somebody, Hashem is your Hashem. Where were you? Why didn't you save most of us? And we gave our life for you. But God knew. We traitors? We traitors? Are we traitors? They shechted us, they threw us to the fire, and we died like Jews. Why should we say traitors? Gazalnu, we stole what there is to steal in the camp. What there is to steal. So he said, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu come to complain against us? Why we have to say, Avinu Malkenu, Chatanu lefanecha. We sinned in front of you. He said, where did we sin? And everybody was crying. They said, the Admor is right. The Admor is right. All of a sudden, he's bang on the teva and he says, I'll tell you what is our sin. Oh, we did sin? He says, yes, we did. In what? He said, we didn't believe that Hashem have the koach to take us out of here. Do you hear what he said?
Wow.
We lost the emunah that Hashem is not able to take us out of the hands of the Nazis. This is our sin. On this, we have to say, Chatanu. Yes, we sinned. Because we underestimate your koach. And you are the Almighty. We thought that we're going to die. If not today, tomorrow. We didn't give ourselves any chance because we said, Hashem is already too old, have no koach to take us out. What? When a person do not believe that he'll go out of the situation that he's in, he is such a sinner. I'll tell you why. You know what he's saying? Hashem is limited. Could you believe this? To say Hashem is limited? I'm stuck in a situation that nobody can help. You have to understand Hashem is not limited at all. The Mashgiach of Ponevezh, Rav Chatzkel Levinstein, he said that when you have emunah, Hashem can do everything. He says even a person crippled, handicapped, he can stand up. You know, the past week was the Hilula of the Baba Sali. If you will hear what he did, it sounds like stories from the imagination. For him, it was a reality. A reality. A person came to his office on a wheelchair, not able to walk. Not able to walk. He had a stick, he had a stick.
A cane, Rav?
A cane. After he spoke to this man, he told him, are you accepting on your Shabbat? He said, yes. are you going to send your wife to the mikveh? He said, yes, yes, yes. Yes, of course. He said, okay. Come, he said, come. You know what? He said, get up. What get up? He's an handicap. He told him, I told you to get up. And the man said, I started to feel the blood going into my veins. Pete he said, I can move my feet. He told him, stand up, start to walk. And he came out of the room of the Rav, walking. Whoever was in the waiting room, all fainted.
Rav, how did he have that power? Like that
Ah.
ability? I'm sorry to cut the Rav off. How did he have that ability to do that? The Baba Sali to... No, I'm not... Because if someone hears a story, they're like, oh, he's like Hashem.
The Kedusha that he had, the emunah that he had, the bitachon in Hashem, he says, what do you mean Hashem is not able? There's no such a thing, B'chlam. These are the people that for them a miracle is a friend of mine. They passed away already. The one who published the Sidurim Sukkot David. His name was Rav David Batzri. He told me in front of many people, he had ulcers, bleeding ones, painful ones, and he had to go through operation. The night before the operation was Leil Rosh Chodesh. So one of his friends, the colleagues, he told them, let's go on the way to Be'er Sheva, over there that they're going to do the operation. Let's pass there by the house of the Baba Sali. He'll give you a brara that the operation will go smoothly. They got there. The Baba Sali saw him by the entrance. He's saying to the Shamash in Arabic, bring him close to me over here. He brought him in. And the Baba Sali was in a mood. Everybody knew Erev Rosh Chodesh is in a special mood. He told the Shamash, pour for him arak. You know what?
Vodka.
Arak is 40% alcohol, 40, sometimes 50% alcohol. And he told them, tell them to drink it. And when the Shamash gave it to the Rav, he told them, the Baba Sali asking that you should drink it. He said, what? I will die over here. I have open ulcers. Alcohol will kill me. I'm not allowed to. So he went back to Baba Sali and said, it's not allowed. He said, tell them to drink it. Tell them to drink it. He said, Behemet, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. He said, you know what? I said, Shema Israel, maybe I'll die here, but I cannot say no to the tzaddik. And he told them to finish it in one shot, he told them. That was one shot. and it was a cup. One shot, he drank the vodka, the arak. He said, Pito, I felt something is turning up in my stomach. No pain, no clue. And he called him up, he says, don't do operation. Tell the doctor to take X-ray before the operation. Don't listen to them. They should take X-ray. Okay? They preparing for the operation. Here comes the doctor. He told them, I'm not going to go to operation unless you're going to take X-ray. He said, we took all the X-rays that we need. Why we need another one? He said, I'm not going to go to operation without X-ray. Okay, what can they do? They took X-ray. The doctor came in. He told them, what is your name? This is, my name is David Batsri. Is impossible. There is a mistake over here. Are you sure? He said, of course. He says, where are the ulcers? He says, I don't know. I don't know. He said, you have a stomach like 18 years old now. I don't know what you did. You should get up and go home. He went home, and the doctor told him, what did you do? So he told him, I went to the tzaddik in the whole hospital went there.
Wow.
Rabbi, did he had enough arak for the whole?
Yes. The shamash told me, the shamash, he said once they left with a little bit arak, he said, Arav, don't let this arak go because that's all we get. He said, pour. Don't worry. He says, as much as I poured, stay the same. I'm pouring, and the bottle not getting empty.
Do they still have the Sarak Rav? Wow. Wow. Did the Rav ever meet him?
They were selling it, I remember, Arak Shel Baba Sali.
Ooh,
Yeah. But that wasn't real, right?
nah.
Made it up, yeah.
Just to make money, probably.
Yeah.
I know a case that they prepare already the funeral. They printed already all the when is the funeral, which cemetery it is going, what shul it is going out. The grandchild at 12 o'clock at night decided to go to the Baba Sali and to tell them what's going on. 12 o'clock, 12:45, he is there, and the Shamash says, hey, the Rav now learning. Don't interrupt. It says emergency, a lady going to die now. We have to talk to him. Okay, he went inside. He heard what he heard. He called this man, this boy inside, told him, listen, come here. Take this mime. He said, let her drink it. He said, what? Drink. She is unconscious. He said, just take the water, put here. Oh, and there. They were speeding on the highway. They got to the hospital, okay? 2 o'clock in the morning. And already for making the preparation and so on, the grandchild went inside, he put it kara. He said, Rav, I swear to you, 2 minutes it took. 2 minutes, pitoom, she opening up her eyes. She says, Ibi, where am I? Why am I here? Why am I in the hospital? Take me home. Now, she lived after this 15 years.
Gosh.
She was done, already done. Now they were hiding all the flyers and everything. They were hiding.
Rabbi, she didn't have more arak to gain another 15 years of the life.
You see, when the tzaddik knows that Hashem is not limited, what's the big deal?
But Rav, how does he change the decree, though? That's the like. How did the Baba Sali have that ability to change Hashem decreed something?
It was very much in connection. You give him a list, he'll pray for this one, he will jump, and he will say the other one, and the Shamash, what about this? He says, this no. Why? Because he knew that's the time.
Oh, wow.
So,
His
What
son
about
is alive, right? Baba Sali's son?
what?
Baba Sali's son is alive? Is a rabbi?
Yeah, not even,
Not like the original.
no, not at all, actually.
Rabbi,
Okay,
sees
Rabotai.
Shamash.
Okay, I think that you got the message.
Yes, Rav, loud and clear.
Hashem is unlimited. Every problem that you have is limited. Hashem knows what he's doing. Every child, every husband, every wife have an address. Our job is to see, okay, to follow what we have to follow and let Hashem do the rest for us. Because Hashem is there. He put you in the situation. He knows what he's doing. Our problem is that we want to solve our problems ourselves.
Right.
It's like somebody says, you know what, I'm going to be my own doctor. I'm going to make operation to myself. Here I'm laying on the operating table. Give me the knife, please. He will open, he will change, he will. Can it be done?
No.
Can it be done?
The man himself? No.
Can you be your own surgeon?
No, you'll kill yourself.
And that's what people are doing. I don't need your help. I'll do it by myself. Here come the surgeon. Hashem says, hey, I know what I'm doing. This is my plan. Follow the plan, please. Okay? Follow the plan. And at the end, you see that pitom, you see a picture. Wow. I never thought that's the picture. That's the picture. You think one end, and Hashem Bichlal has something else. Like we think about Yosef becoming a king in Egypt, and Hashem thinking what to do with the Mashiach.
So Rav, when we limit Hashem, then in our minds he becomes limited.
Yeah,
So
that's the
our,
avon that we have.
our
That
fault.
we're saying, Hashem, He cannot take us out of the situation. Man,
If he put us in it, he could take us out. So how do we know when to stop? Like when
you
we
don't
keep
know.
to just keep going and just believe in
Yeah.
Hashem.
Even Moshe didn't know.
But Hashem told him when to stop, Rav. We don't know when we're supposed to stop or keep going. Hashem told Moshe to stop davening for, let's say, Eretz Yisrael. He knew when the end was there, but we don't know when.
Because he was already pressing.
Buttons.
Hashem says, you don't know my plans. Stop with this.
Okay. So we should never give up. Just keep davening and keep seeking advice. And
Oy vavoy if you give up. Hashem don't like quitters. You hear me?
yes, Rav.
Hashem do not like quitters. You stay there and you say, this shall be passed, this will pass, everything will pass.
Gam ze yavor, right?
Gam ze yavo, gam ze yavo.
Look, but Rav, I'm not understanding. So how do we know when,
You don't know.
if let's say, no,
You
I
don't
mean,
know.
okay. No, but what do we do if, let's say, we have two equally good choices? So Hashem could lead us here or there, so we don't know which way to go.
You go ask a question.
Oh, okay.
You go ask a question. Why I can ask and then you don't? That's it. Okay. Have a good night, everybody. It was very nice talking to you as usual.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Rav.
you for all the
Thank you very
information.
much, Rabbi.
Thank you.
So much, Rabbi.
Tomorrow night we continue with part 3.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for-
Thank you.
We have to register all this. We have to register.
Reprogram our heads. Yes, Rav.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody, good night.
Thank
good
you,
night.
Rabbi.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.